I became interested in entrepreneurs when I was walking home from third grade. I saw this little guy painting circles on the outside of a store, and I asked him what he was doing. He said his name was Dominic, and his uncle sent him cheese from Italy, and he was starting a pizza shop. And I went, "What's pizza?" And he sold that to Tom Monahan in Ypsilanti, Michigan. And I grew up watching this company grow in my little town. And so I'd always been really fascinated by entrepreneurs. My media childhood idol really was Johnny Carson. So after I graduated from Eastern Michigan, I hitchhiked to New York, walked into NBC and said, "I want to be an NBC page." And they said, "Well, we don't have any jobs." And I said, "Well, I hitchhiked all the way here. Could I at least apply for a job?" So she slid the thing through. I filled it in, slid it back. I'm walking out the door, and she goes, "Hey, you graduated from Eastern Michigan?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "I graduated from Eastern Michigan. Come back in here." So, taking action can really be a big life changer. So I spent 10 years at NBC, worked my way up, and it's actually harder to become an NBC page than to get into Harvard statistically. So this was a piece of, luck. It changed my life. $5 million education, traveled the world, NBC Sports. I did it all. So I worked my way up through documentaries, met Johnny Carson, created the Johnny Carson talk show game, went into Johnny's office, pitched it to him, and he loved it, and Milton Bradley loved it. I thought, man, we got it made in the shade. And then Sonny Werblin, Johnny's lawyer and agent, said, "Oh yeah, just give us $250,000 for Johnny's name and likeness, and we got it." And I'm making $100 a week, I think, as an NBC page. So that kind of killed the deal. But that's when I realized, man, I never want to need the big guy again for my success, my future. So I started thinking, planning, how can we get ways for entrepreneurs around the big guy? How can we do it at the pedestrian level, work our way up? So then, one of my mentors taught me, anything you want to do in life, come up with a show for, and then you can get paid to go do that, do a media show. So I came up with the show. I moved from NBC to CNN. I wanted to be on air, so I became a correspondent. And I pitched doing a show called Keys to Success so I could interview the most successful entrepreneurs in the world. And I started first the interview with Steve Wozniak, co-founder of Apple, how they built Apple because of the media, all the media exposure they got. So I interviewed hundreds of these people, Oprah, Donald Trump, just the list goes on and on. I learned two things. One, that the media played a key role in their financial success, and the power of the interview. Okay, so many of them were being interviewed. When you're being interviewed by somebody, that really puts you up on a pedestal. That's like, wow, who's this authority on the subject? So it becomes very, very important. So I decided, okay, I caught the bug. I wanted to make my mission to help entrepreneurs access the media that I knew inside out. And I knew what their shortcomings were, and I wanted to make it affordable and effective for them. So one of my best interviews, I thought, most influential, was Charles Schwab, who wanted to make, the cost of doing trading, very, very low. So I wanted to make the media very low cost for people. So I got into the TV infomercial industry, produced one of Tony Robbins' very first TV commercials. Spent about 25 years in that, meeting all the sharks in the world. There's about 175 of them who collectively sell multiple billions of dollars worth of product. So it's been quite a ride. And then I discovered the gig economy about 5 years ago, started studying that. And here's the key. I just interviewed Diane Mulcahy. She is the author of the great book, The Gig Economy. Just did it this week. What I can only really communicate one thing that they say one takeaway. If there's one takeaway I hope you guys can get, it's this. Diane has the impeccable credentials of Babson College, the top entrepreneur college in the country, possibly the world, teaches Harvard Business Review. She is a senior fellow at Kauffman Foundation. If there's a top rung, she's been there, she's on. She's done all this research on it. I just interviewed her. It's a whole economy. So we are trying to cover, how to get in as a gigger, or since this group is about the chamber, I wanted to bring and teach how to use the gig economy to get. Now, everybody, I got to ask you guys a couple questions real quick. Sorry. First of all, my first question is, because I don't want to leave anything unsaid or done. Do small business owners today need to be reminded anymore that we are all marketers of our products and services first and foremost? I know that's been drilled in our heads, but do we all get that? We're all marketers. Okay, cool. So then how many here think that you have an interesting story to tell? Something that about you, your background, your company, or what makes you different or better? Could I see a show of hands? Okay. Or your mission, whatever it is, okay? Well, these are the interviews that I love. I love human interest stories. I really want to know. I look at people like books. What makes them tick? What's their story? And so do other people. So if you want to market your gig, you really want to tell your story, about why they want to hire you. So that's what I am. I interview people, help them tell their story, get it captured, and then that becomes the vehicle that will take you throughout the internet and the gig economy to wherever you want to go. But I will give anybody here who wants one the half-hour interview that I did with Diane Mulcahy. I edited, I got it down to about 30 minutes. We're talking about the whole economy in 30 minutes and her MBA program. But if you really want to get this, I'm telling you folks, the gig economy is as important as the internet. It's going to be huge. So if you can get a leg up, a head start on it, believe me, you're going to be doing yourself a big fat favor. Vanity?
Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much.
How do you get that interview, Mike?
Not yet.
Where did you sign up? Were you going to ask me questions?
I was going to sign up.
Oh,
Oh, cool. It's sold. That's great.